What's the worst decision the Pokemon anime has ever made? Was it having Charizard sleep and cost Ash his first ever league? Was it having Ash lose to Alana in the finals of the Lumiose Conference? Or was it when they decided that it was a good idea to release Ambipom in the Diamond and Pearl saga? Bruh. No, seriously. I feel like most Pokemon fans are pretty divided on many topics. Amore shipping, Cameron, Leon. You know, I feel like each side has a camp. But Dawn releasing Ambipom so she can go play ping pong? Literally no one supports this, and for good reason. As an Apom, she was the only Pokemon besides Pikachu to come with him to any region, she was the only Pokemon besides Weasel to be traded amongst main characters permanently, and she was a queen on the contest stage. Hell, they dedicated so much time to her character at the start of the series, showing how she didn't want to battle but actually wanted to compete in contests, and then she picked up a ping pong paddle and the rest is history. In today's video, I'll recap Diamond and Pearl episode 124, To Thine Own Pokemon Be True, give my thoughts along the way, and show off any Easter eggs along the way. And right off the bat, fun fact, this episode aired in the United States the same day that the best Pokemon games ever released in Japan. So at least we got some good news associated with it. Anyways, the episode begins with Ash and Barry excited to enter the ping pong tournament that Barry had mentioned in the previous episode. Mind you, Dawn just appeared in a Pokemon contest where she lost in the finals to Kenny, but Ambipom is the one who helped her win the appeals round. Remember that for later. Dawn says for everyone to calm down because she doesn't really understand the rules, which is basically you play alongside your Pokemon and only the trainer can use a paddle and serve, and the first team to 11 points wins the game, and you need to win 3 games to win the match. Ash enters with Pikachu, and Dawn's going with Ambipom, and sadly, Brock isn't participating, but I feel like they could have had him enter with Krogunk. It's kinda cute seeing Piplup on Brock's shoulder for this shot, since they'll be on the sidelines for the rest of this episode. Ash and Dawn decide to have a practice match, and Dawn uses her Pokédex to flip the coin, and I remember using this thing all the time when I was a kid. Ash wins the coin flip and gets the first serve, and at first, him and Dawn are hitting it back and forth until Pikachu sends it back their way. Then, Ambipom opens the third gate and hits the ball super hard. So hard that it goes past them flying at this random NPC. Oh, never mind, this dude just straight up bare hand catches it and gets some aura points. Turns out he is an NPC, even if he really does just look like a generic background character. He praises Ambipom on having really good reflexes and thought she had practiced a lot, not knowing that it was actually her first time ever playing. He drops some advice, then pieces out. Brock then looks at the flyers and notices that this NPC is on it. We cut to everyone entering the arena and look at how derpy Ash and Pikachu look. I don't know, I actually love these kind of frames, is it just me? There's 28 people competing, and if Ash and Dawn win their first round, then they're gonna both be matched up against each other in the second round. Luckily for Barry, he won't have to face either of them. On the scoreboard, Dawn notices that the random guy that appeared earlier is on there too. Barry says that this isn't a random guy, his name is O, and he's last year's winner and is considered to be one of the best at Pokemon Ping Pong. And they really named him O, like nothing more creative, they just close your eyes and hit a random key on the keyboard. Actually in Japanese his name is O, which refers to him being a king of ping pong. But Pokemon rarely uses the Japanese name in the dub, they could have called him King or something. O apparently travels all over the world in search of trainers and Pokemon to spread the word about Pokemon Ping Pong. Loser. In the stands, Brock meets up with James in disguise, who's rocking that Magikarp stash, and they both get along really well, like genuinely bestie vibes. And if you didn't know, they're both voiced by the same person in the 4Kids era of the anime. The prize for this contest is golden Pokeballs and a year's supply of Pokemon food, the latter of which is often given out for these random tournaments. Dawn is paired against an Alakazam trainer, and Ash is paired against a Farfetch'd trainer. It wouldn't be far-fetched to say that these frames are goated. Ash turns around and tells Dawn good luck, not realizing he's holding a fan and not a paddle. Ash is visibly nervous, and I can't blame him, I low-key get really nervous during any tournament setting. Jessie gets a warning because Meowth is holding a paddle, and Pokemon can only use their bodies to play in this game. Jessie rightfully claims that Marowak has a bone and that's basically a paddle, but they said that the rules allow for it. The Marowak trainer serves the ball, and Meowth slices it, which disqualifies her according to the rules. She literally fumbled the tournament on the first play. Feels bad, man. Ash and Pikachu are up next, and they have a fantastic back and forth against the Farfetch'd trainer. It looks like Ash is gonna have the early lead, but the Farfetch'd fires it back and smacks Ash right in the face. Now Dawn is going up against the Alakazam trainer, and I just realized that all of these trainers are using Pokemon with paddle-like items. Marowak has Bone Club, Farfetch'd on League, and now Alakazam with Twisted Spoons. Dawn commands Ambipom very well, but they lose the first point, but that's okay, Ambipom just decides to handle this herself and evens up the score. Ash actually ends up losing off screen to the Farfetch'd guy, which is actually kinda crazy, but Dawn avenges him and wins her second round. The Marowak guy and Barry are also seen winning their matches before we cut to Team Rocket. They make a plan to steal the golden ping pong balls, so we'll keep an eye on them. Ash reunites with Brock and James and tells him that he feels bad that he lost because he let Pikachu down, but then they just start glazing Ambipom, calling her a natural ping pong player. Like, it wasn't even her first time there. Since we know the outcome of this episode, we know exactly what they're doing here, and no, it's not low-key. Dawn is now facing the Marowak trainer in the 3rd round, and she's up 10-9. O is standing behind her in awe at the skill of Ambipom, not willing to believe that it's her first time. After an incredible save, Ambipom fires off the return back at Marowak, who's unable to keep it in play, and Dawn wins this round too. Everyone is complimenting Dawn's skills at making it so far in the tournament, but James drops the truth that it's basically all thanks to Ambipom. Then Jessie recollects a time that she joined an unofficial contest with Apom, saying that if she had kept Apom on her team, she'd be in the winner's bracket and not be a total loser. Barry is now scheduled a bout against O and his partner Shiftry. Barry serves and has a quick back and forth with O before Shiftry appears out of nowhere and wins him the point and eventually the match. Theodore and Gliscor win the B block and advance to the finals, so I'm hoping they win the tournament. They added so much to this episode. Meanwhile, Dawn and Ambipom are battling O and Shiftry in the semifinals. O wins the first game as Dawn and Ambipom are having trouble finding their footing in this one. Dawn tries to relax and gets cheered up by Ambipom, so she's determined to win this one for her, except O hits the ball back so hard that a measly ping pong ball is enough to snap her paddle in half. O is a savage too, because he basically says a win is a win and tries to hit her again. But Ambipom steps up. Ambipom literally solos the second game by herself, which now allows Dawn to be able to pick up a new paddle. And I think that rule is kinda crazy, like why can't she just get another one? Oh, it's to show how good Ambipom is so we can let her off at the end of this episode. That makes sense. Now ready for game 3, O serves the ball and it fades away, telling us that O has won the match on the TV. Like, we don't even see it, we literally just hear the TV. At least we heard that Theodore won the first game, so good job Theodore. Sitting on a bench at the Pokemon Center, we hear the original Gen 1 jingle and Ambipom comes out. Turns out she was very exhausted from carrying Dawn so hard at the ping pong tournament. O then shows up and says that their last match was fantastic and he wants to train what could be the very next big thing at Pokemon Ping Pong, to which Dawn declined, saying that this tournament showed her that their true passion is Pokemon contests. I hope Theodore and Gliscor got the same treatment. We then get this insane frame, which would not be a good sign for O's PR team if taken out of context. O then says that he meant Ambipom and he urges Dawn to consider it. Later that night, Dawn rushes into the room and asks for Ash and Brock's help as she can't find Ambipom. Brock hears a faint noise, and we see that Ambipom is having fun practicing her ping pong skills against the wall. Dawn then tells Ash and Brock about O's offer and asks for Ash's advice. What would he do in this situation? Well, if it was Kanto Ash, he'd have no problems releasing his Pokemon left and right. Hell, Primeape is still away in training if you think about it. If you think releasing a monkey Pokemon is a good idea and you're gonna get it back, you're totally wrong. We then get a 30-second montage of Ambipom's moments in the anime, and then Ash tells her to think what's best for Ambipom. Brock then drops a really good truth bomb, saying that the trainer has a lot of responsibility in juggling what the Pokemon wants, but also what's best for the Pokemon. Dawn takes his advice to heart and sleeps on it. The next day, O is boarding the bus, and Dawn rushes up to him. Her ultimate decision is to let Ambipom choose. Dawn extends her hand with a contest ball and a ping pong, and asks Ambipom to choose which she wants to do. After careful consideration, she picks up the ping pong ball, and then the contest ball, Dawn, and Ash's hat, and starts juggling. That was a good fake out. I thought they were going to release her for a second. Dawn once again asks what's it going to be before we get a dramatic zoom in shot of everyone's face. Ambipom finally decides to play ping pong, and so Dawn trusts her Pokemon over to O. It gets emotional, and O tells him that his training facility is located in Vermilion City, so they can come visit him anytime, which I'm sure they'll do. Ambipom rides the bus and waves through the window, and we never see her again. Okay bro, who thought it was a good idea to release Ambipom? Like seriously, we have all of this character development, introduce her as a plot device between Ash and Dawn, have Zoe in the mix there too, make her good at contests after already pivoting from battles, just for her to leave for ping pong. Ping pong! Genuinely, I feel like this is the worst release episode that the Pokemon anime has ever had because it was literally so random. Primeape was really bad too, but at least his only character development was in the same episode that he got released, so you didn't feel too bad. Fun fact, this episode aired in Japan on April 2009, which was the same time that Japan was hosting the World Table Tennis Championships in Yokohama. And Osa has his training facilities in Vermilion City, which is actually modeled after Yokohama if you didn't know. Honestly, my favorite part about this episode was Barry, and Theodore. He always carries every episode he's in for me, I just love his personality so much. It was really weird how he was here and then just never appeared again, or how Team Rocket was basically just thrown into this episode. I thought they were going to steal the golden ping pongs. I mean, the whole episode had weird pacing issues, with them not even showing the full match against O and Dawn. Too many skips all throughout. I'm going to be giving this episode a 3 out of 10 rating. This is easily my least rated episode so far in my throwback episode reviews, which you should check out all of them by clicking on the playlist on my channel. I just genuinely don't think this was a good episode. However, I'd love if you disagreed and let me know why in the comments below. Let's get a discussion going. But for now, I've got a ping pong training school I gotta attend to, so I'm out. Peace.